ladies, welcome back to GodlyFem. My name is Jumaka and I coach spirit-filled curse breakers to become all God has called them to be through the art of godly femininity. So I hope you ladies have enjoyed your holidays and your New Year's. Welcome to 2022. So to usher in the new year, let's get into this new video. So today we are going to be discussing if these 4 entertaining tips for a godly feminine woman. Okay, so I love entertaining, hospitality. After presentation, this is probably one of my most favorite things in femininity as far as like my femininity journey. And even in the Bible, when we read in the scriptures, a lot of women back then used to entertain people. They would bring people into their homes, they would serve them, they would entertain them. It was really an integral part of the ancient Jewish culture, but still, even in modern day society, I think entertaining still has its place. So I'm going to share with you 4 of my favorite entertaining tips for a godly feminine woman. Let's go. So the first tip that I can give you when it comes to entertaining is to stay ready so you never got to get ready, baby, okay? So you always want to have extras on hand, whether that is bed sheets, comforters, toothbrushes, toothpastes, toiletries. You always want to have things on hand, especially if you have friends and maybe your friend comes to visit you and maybe they're not planning to stay long, but y'all end up talking and they have to spend the night. Things like this can happen all the time. So which is why I'm saying it's better to stay ready so you never got to get ready. You always just want to make sure that you already have extras of everything, and just put it away somewhere, because depending on what it is exactly, you may not want to constantly be using these things. You may just want to have a fresh pair or a fresh stack or just something new for your guests to use, and that can definitely boost the experience that they have when it comes to staying with you. So the second tip that I can give you for entertaining is to stock up on people food. So my friend's friend coined this term and she called it people food, and I love it. People food is basically food that you don't normally eat. You just have it saved for guests and for entertaining. So it can look like frozen food, like the little hors d'oeuvres that you can buy at your supermarket. It may look like specialty food items that you can buy maybe at Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshall's, places like that, just specialty foods. It could look like chips and dips, finger foods, things of that nature. You want to stock up on people food so that when people do come to your house, maybe unexpectedly, or someone is like, hey, I'm in town, and you're like, oh, like you don't have that much time to prepare. Instead of going to the supermarket and trying to create a whole meal at one time, it may just be helpful to simply have food on hand that you may not normally eat, that has a long shelf life and a long time before its expiration date occurs. Okay, so definitely get you some people food. So the next thing that you want to do when it comes to entertaining is to just have activities on hand. So whether that's things like Mancala or cards or a bingo, Yahtzee, something like that, it's nice to have activities on hand. A lot of times you may not need these activities unless if it's a big crowd, or if you're hosting a get together or something like that. You may not need so many activities. Sometimes if it's just a friend who's out of town, a lot of times you're spending so much time catching up, you may not even have time to even watch TV or to do an activity. But it's just nice to have in case you are hosting more than one person, that even if you're talking to one person or another person, you just don't want people to just sit around bored when you're entertaining. So you just want to have a couple of activities on hand. Even board games are cool too, that you enjoy, that other people could enjoy while they are staying with you. So the last entertaining tip that I have for you is to upgrade your serving ware. So I don't know about you. I grew up in a culture that loves china displays. I think a lot of immigrants, they like china display cabinets and things of that nature, which is great, but I'm someone who's a firm believer that you should always use your best stuff. It shouldn't be simply something, either servingware or even a space in your house, is only available to guests. I think it's important that when you treat others the way you treat yourself, if it's not something you would do for yourself, do it for yourself first, and then from how you like to be treated, that's how you treat others. That's my own mentality when it comes to things like that. But I do think it's important to just upgrade your servingware. And a quick tip is just to get white servingware. So whether those are canisters, those are just different types of Tupperware or different types of bowls and plates. White just makes things pop. Yeah, if you want to be a little fancy and it has a bit of hardware, maybe white or gold hardware, go ahead, knock yourself out. The only thing is some Tupperware and china, it may not be microwave safe in case someone wants to warm up their food. But regardless, just having just very elegant servingware on hand, so that even if you're serving something like chips and dip, instead of just pulling out the entire bag of chips and like the dipping sauce, you can pour some chips into a white type of container and then pour some of the dipping sauce into a small white bowl and then serve it on a tray. That may also be helpful. And also, stock up on some wine as well, so that even if it's just chips and dip and it's just maybe some cheap wine, it still elevates the experience that you are trying to create when it comes to entertaining. So those are just 4 basic tips that I have when it comes to serving, entertaining and hospitality. If you do enjoy this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so that you can get more notifications. And as I mentioned earlier, if you are someone who you're a spirit-filled believer, you're a woman, you're a curse breaker, and you want to really harness the power of godly femininity, definitely do schedule a coaching call with me to join my masterclass. All the information will be in the description below. But thank you all so much for listening. Make sure you leave a comment and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.